Morning. Thanks for joining us again. Don't know whether you can see behind me, but we're walking with Maria and Eric again, which means we're over in southern Spain, and we're doing, well, it's another walk called Los Castanos. We did one a while back above the village of Jaén, which in some books is called Los Castanos, in others it's Acequia Alta, but this one is above the village of Valor where we're staying, and also called Los Castanos, and it's a walk of around about 6 miles, maybe a little bit more. Lovely warm day, probably a little bit too warm for walking, but we're just going to take it slowly. So why not join us and see some of these lovely Alpujarran views. So we're doing the route in a clockwise direction, and the initial route takes us up through the village from the Bar el Puente, where we've just had coffee, and then you go past the Bar el Suizo and then start climbing up to the Barrio Alto, and then the path cuts out, and it's even got a green and white waypost markings on this trail these days. So I'm following it on the OSM and app, which I'm just trying out for my Spanish walks, because nothing else really works unless you pay for a subscription. So if that works out, I'll perhaps bring you that on another video. But the initial route, now we're out into the Campo, drops us down to cross the Rio Valor, and then we just gradually climb up and up, and then skirt right round back past the old cheese factory and back down to Bar el Puente again. Just here is believed to be the site of an old mosque from probably around about 1400 or 1500, and the big Castaño is the landmark that marks the spot. And according to Eric, it's quite easy to find fragments of old,
utensils, cutlery,
blue tiles and all of that sort of stuff around here. Looking down over the village of Valor there. The olive press just there. Stunning up here. Already gained a bit of altitude, lost a bit down to the river, and now regained it again. So just find somewhere to park for a few minutes, take on some water. Just going to be shooting into the sun, but try and show you the view. Just keep an eye open for the green and white markings, and the path leaves to the left, and it's a lovely little narrow rocky stretch, all quite well marked. I think it's all been newly remarked, so just keep an eye open for those green and white signs painted on the rocks and on posts. Right, Eric's just parted company with us. He's not long since had COVID, just a few weeks ago, so I think he's still suffering a little with the climbing, so he's taken a route that just drops down to the road and then back. So we'll catch up with him a bit later, and we're just climbing up past an old cortijo. Absolutely gorgeous up here. Stopping in some shade. Have you seen oh yeah, Marie's just spotted an eagle circling above us, and over behind us the Cerrejón de Muertas. Won't mind a walk up there. Maria's grimacing. So look at this eagle. And eventually you come out at a slightly larger track and turn right, and we're just heading along there now, and probably levels out a little bit. We seem to roughly follow the contour round, and then eventually we come to a track that takes us back down into the valley of the tiny little Rio Valor. All the almond trees are in bloom. Won't last long. Look really lovely though. We're just looking down over the village of Valor right below us. Probably around about 400 metres we've climbed up from there. I think it's roughly I can't remember, it's a 1400 or 1450 metre contour that we reach and then start dropping down. So fair old climb on a hot day, but nothing too bad. Just found the track to the right now. A little bit of altitude loss we'll have to regain. Maria's happy about that, but gotta be done. I don't know whether you saw that, a couple of red-legged partridges that I just spooked flew off. Seen quite a few on the walk. There's hundreds of them around here. Well, pretty sure that's the highest point of the walk now. I think it's, as I say, around about 1,450 metres above sea level. And then I think we just got a little straight stretch behind us, and then the path drops down to the right into the Rio Valor Valley, and then back up again onto the old cheese factory road, and then it's downhill all the way. What a view. Right out to the Mediterranean. It's a bit hazy out there today. Somebody say highest point?
Nope.
Still climbing. Trouble is, in the sunshine you can't see the contours on the app on the phone, so it's difficult to say for sure, but here can't be too far before we drop down now. Honestly.
Don't believe him.
Yeah. It's a welcome sight. I think that post marks where our path starts to drop down, and the other path seems to curve away to the left. Nice to see. Last time I came up here I said I got horribly lost going the other way and ended up cutting across country, across really rough terrain. So all a lot better marked these days. So. Now, looking at it, not much of a surprise that I managed to lose this path before they put the marker posts in. You can hardly see it now. Well, we never saw any more of those eagles. As soon as I got the better camera out with the telephoto on it, they were off. I think they've got a sixth sense for cameras. But I just caught a glimpse of white on one of them. There were two up there, so I think it was a light phase booted eagle, but they never came close enough to tell for sure. And I'm hoping as we come back down past the cheese factory, it's one of only two real reliable spots I know for black wheat here, which are a globally endangered species. So fingers crossed they're still there and we might see one. But again, they're quite a fleeting sight and they're pretty small, so whether I'll be able to get a shot of it or not, I don't know. We'll do our best. Right, just coming down to the river now. Sounds as if there's quite a bit of water in it actually, this high up. But yeah, very steep coming down. I'd definitely recommend doing this one clockwise, not anti-clockwise. I remember it going up from last time I did it the other way around, and yeah, it was a real pig going up. Just had a 5-minute break just down near the bridge over the river. Nice little spot there. Loads of butterflies. Mind you, considering it's only mid-March, there's been loads of butterflies all around the entire walk. It's gorgeous. So we're just beginning the long descent now, back down along the river valley towards the cheese factory, and then eventually down to Bar el Puente for a well-earned drink. Seen any black wheat ears so far. Seen a blue rock thrush that flitted over to the cliff over there, and I've just seen crag martin, which is another nice semi-unusual species that you do see around this valley. So nice to see those two, but still keeping my eyes peeled for the black wheat ear. Just going down past the old cheese factory now, where they used to make cheese from the local sheep and goats. Closed down a couple of years now, I think 2-3 years. But well, I saw one black wheat ear. It flitted off as soon as I got the camera out. It was in a beautiful spot, but then it flitted off, and well, all I can say is that I pointed the camera at the tree it was in. I'm not sure whether it was even still there or not, but anyway, at least I saw one, which is nice, because there's a lot of species that have just disappeared from this area over the last 15 to 20 years. Right, so we're just coming down to the top of the village now, back to Valor, and the last section just drops down and pops us out at Bar el Puente again, which is convenient. It's been about 12 kilometres, so 7-ish miles, and on a hot day with that climb, it feels like we deserve a drink, doesn't it?
As always.
So yeah, that's our first port of call. But if you've stuck with us this far, many thanks for watching as usual. If you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, maybe you'll click subscribe and stick around, get notified of new videos. Doesn't cost anything or anything like that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and no doubt we'll see you very soon on another video, but we'll bring you back at the end for a nice cool cheers. Beautiful. Just what the doctor ordered.